So now that we learned how to snap objects together using the magnet tool, the snap to point, now we're going to try something different. We're going to create a curve. To create a curve, go to the Create menu and go down to CV Curve Tool. Click on CV Curve Tool. I'm going to start creating a curve. I don't like creating curves on the perspective because I don't have much I can only estimate where the points are going. Sometimes it's really difficult to draw things on the perspective plane. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to my the configuration of all the orthographic views, and actually use the front view and tap on the space bar. Get rid of the grid, and I'm going to click and create a curve. When I'm done with this creation, I click right to enter. I'm going to go to my perspective. So this is the curve that I just created. And just to double check, this curve was created, I think, from left to right. We have to make sure where we started this curve, and I'm going to explain the reason why in a minute. Let's go ahead and go to the control vertex. So you can see here that whenever you create a curve, there's the first point is the first 2 points have this shape, and then they look like dots, but the first 2 points look like an outline, have this kind of like squarish shape. So we definitely know that this is the beginning of this curve. The reason I'm saying that is because we're going to use this curve to extrude, to create an extrusion, and we definitely need the shape to touch the starting point of this curve. So let's create a shape. I'm going to just create a basic polygon plane. This is my plane. Let's get rid of the grid, turn off the grid. So I have a curve and a plane. Let me make it a little bit smaller. This is going to be a profile shape that is going to create we're going to create an extrusion out of this shape along this path. What we need to do is get this shape and bring that shape on the beginning of the curve. How do we do that? Click on move. So we're going to make sure that all axes are activated. This is yellow. And we're going to snap this on the curve. There's actually a magnet tool, a snapping option for that. This is the snapping option for snapping geometry on curves. So this is snap to curve. Turn this on. This turns into a circle shape. And again, as we did in the previous lesson, I'm going to go to the curve, hold down the middle mouse button, and start drawing along the curve. So that will not only bring my object, it's not only going to snap it, but it's going to actually rail it. As I'm clicking, holding down the middle mouse and dragging, this is going to rail on the curve. So this, I'm going to bring it all the way to the beginning, and you'll see it's going to stop there. Click F to go closer, and we're going to use this shape for our profile, and we're going to use this curve to extrude that profile. So this is our profile, this is our path. Let's go to the profile first, which is this shape, and turn off, remember to always turn off the snap tool when you're done with snapping, and click on E to rotate, and let's align this. Let's make, we can only eyeball it, so we can only eyeball it. So just, I'm rotating on the Z. I'm trying to make this shape perpendicular to the curve. This is close enough. So what I'm going to do now is extrude it. Once I'm done with this alignment, I'm going to extrude it. How do we extrude a shape, like a polygon shape, along a curve? First, we select the shape, then we hold down the Shift key, and select the curve. So first the shape, then the curve. Both are selected. Edit mesh, extrude. Go to the extrude options. Let's reset these settings. So how many divisions do we want? In this case, we actually need some divisions because we're going to have a curved object as a result. So let's make 12 divisions. We can increase it later. We can play with that setting later, after the extrusion. Smooth angle, this is good enough. Offset, we're going to leave everything else the same, but we need to make sure that we need to use the selected curve for extrusion. If that was unselected, just make sure you turn it on, because we need the extrusion to happen along the curve. Click apply, close this window, and you can see now that this curve helped us to achieve this complicated shape. If we click Control A, we jump into the channel box quickly here, and we'll see what other things we can add to this shape. If you go all the way down, while the command is still running, we can go all the way down and see that the divisions are 12. You can see that we can actually change that. We can make it 24. We get a little bit more resolution along this curvature. We can always twist the shape. This is really helpful for a lot of character modeling or any sort of muscles. When we build muscles or arms, we need to twist the geometry from shoulder to wrist. Sometimes this is a very helpful tool. And we can also taper it, so we can actually taper this down. A lot of interesting settings for this command. Then I'm going to go and click object mode, and there we go. If I select this object and move it, I can move it outside, away from the curve. The curve is still there. The beginning shape has embedded into this object, so we kind of lose that. We don't have it anymore, but we do have the curve, and there's history. If I go to Control Vertex, I can actually start manipulating the vertices of this curve to change the shape. So keeping the history on, we have more options to get like a desired final shape. So on the next lesson, I'm going to show you some other tricks, some other combinations of snapping tools, and how we can like extrude, how we can use the extrusion on NURB surfaces.